Welcome to Cape Cod Real Estate Corner. As you know, real estate is a major engine of economic prosperity on the Cape. In addition to buyers, sellers, and real estate agents, it directly involves thousands of workers and millions of dollars of economic activity. Even if it doesn't touch you at this moment, it touches many people you know, your friends, your neighbors, and people you do business with. This series of presentations will help give you a better understanding of this important business and may help you be a smarter seller or buyer if you are currently participating in the real estate market or will be entering the market in the future. Our guest is Mrs. Debbie Martin of the Mid-Cape Real Estate School in West Dennis. Debbie has been involved in real estate for 30 years on the Cape. She is a licensed broker and a past president of the Cape Cod and Islands Association of Realtors. She is co-owner with her husband, Dick Martin, and Christopher Green of ERA Cape Real Estate with offices in Dennis and Yarmouth. She is licensed by the state of Massachusetts to teach the pre-licensing course for people taking the real estate licensing written exam. She also teaches advanced courses for real estate agents to meet required continuing education goals. More importantly, Debbie Martin teaches her customers what they need to know to be smart buyers and smart sellers. Today she's going to talk about current conditions in the real estate market. Welcome to Cape Cod Real Estate Corner, Mrs. Martin.
Well, thank you, Bobby. You make me sound a little bit more important than I think I might be. But I appreciate you inviting me here tonight on this very chilly night on Cape Cod.
So, is this a good time to buy on the Cape? Is it a good time to offer your property for sale?
It is. It is. Cape Cod real estate market is very, very busy right now. As you know, we went through quite a downturn in 2007, 8, 9. But since that time, we've made a strong recovery. In some parts of the real estate market, we're not back to where we were pre-2007, but in other parts of the real estate market, we've exceeded that. Prices have gone up past that time, and so we're certainly on the road to recovery, and we're probably within 10% of where we were before the downturn happened. I don't know, Bobby, if you realize that the Cape is truly a second home market. Probably between 70 and 80% in any given year of everything that we sell at ERA, it's a second home or retirement or pre-retirement house. So for us that sell here on the Cape, typically our buyer is looking for a luxury purchase. They're not coming here for a job, they're not coming here for a school, they're coming here because they want a second home or a home they're going to retire to. So we have a little different of a marketplace than we do in Boston and in the suburbs of Boston. But certainly, with this year's market in particular, buyers are still getting a good deal and sellers are still getting a very good price.
Is this a good time of year to be selling, the middle of the winter?
It is. It is. In fact, contrary to popular belief, most people think that we're the busiest, that real estate agents are the busiest in the summer. Actually, we're not. We're the busiest now. So mid-January through April or May, we're extremely busy. From early June through August, we're a little slower. We have a little bit more time to enjoy the summer. And then in September, the market heats up again typically, and we're busy through Thanksgiving. Once Thanksgiving comes until the middle of January, we're a little slower. We have a little bit more time. Real estate's all about supply and demand. So when supply is low and demand is high, you have market prices going up. When supply is high and demand is low, you have the market that's falling. And if we take a look at this month, this year, so January of 2016, and we compare it to January of 2009, a couple of facts that I thought you might find interesting. January of 2009, we had almost 35 houses for sale at the Cape and Islands MLS. January now, in 2016, we only have about 2,000 houses for sale. January of 2009, we had a 24-month inventory, meaning that if all other real estate activity stopped, if all listings stopped, it would take 24 months to eat up what was currently on the market in January of 2009. This month, 2016, we have a 9-month inventory on the market. The average home sale price in 2009, in January of 2009, was $403,000. The average home sale price today, January 2016, is $539,000. Wow. So I'd say we recovered. Certainly that isn't indicative of all aspects of the market. We've had this past year, the past 18 months, we've had some of the highest sale prices on the Cape that the Cape has ever seen. So multi-million dollar sales, $15, $20 million sales we've experienced. And that's the highest that I've seen in the 30 years that I've been in real estate. But again, not all areas of the market have recovered quite as strongly, but they're well on their way. You know, real estate is, I think, the best investment you can make with your money, by far. It's not always the best investment if you're trying to make your money work really quickly. That doesn't always work. Certainly those people who bought a house in 2008 feel differently. But if you can give it the time, and when you look at it from a historical perspective, you see beyond a doubt that real estate really is the best place to put your money.
So could you tell us about what sellers can do to get the best that they can for their property? And on the other hand, what buyers should be looking for in a property that they might be interested in?
Sure. One of the most important pieces of advice, I think, for sellers and people who are considering putting their house on the market is you need a realistic sense of what the market is. Many sellers come in and will say to me, I really need to get X amount of money. Or what do you think my house is worth? And I can tell them what comparisons in the marketplace show. I can tell them what other houses in their neighborhood have sold for. I can tell them what other houses that are still on the market that haven't sold are priced at. And I can tell them what houses that have been withdrawn from the market that didn't sell were priced at. And that will give them a good indication of where their particular property is in the market. But the market will decide the price. I won't, the seller won't, but the market will. And as an example of that, a house went up on the market a couple of years ago on Upper Bass River. And it was an off-Cape broker who had put it on the market and was unfamiliar with the inherent value of that particular geographic location. And it was grossly underpriced. Should have been priced probably somewhere around $700, and it was priced around $500. So of course my husband and I went zipping out of the door with a check in hand, and we met every other broker on Cape Cod at the house. And the house did eventually sell. It sold that week, but it sold for $750,000. So it certainly didn't matter what it was priced at. It mattered what its value was. And the market decides what the value is. So when you're a seller or you're considering putting the house on the market, you need to know the market. And if you hire a good realtor, they're going to tell you what the market is. Another really good tool when you're thinking about selling your house is let your realtor take you out in the car and go look at all the other houses that are on the market that would be in comparative to yours. So if a buyer were looking at your house today, what other houses are they looking at? How does your house measure up to those other houses? What kind of amenities does it have? What kind of curb appeal does it have? Those are the things you want to be really sensitive to, because that's what's going to dictate the price that you're going to end up getting for your house.
And that's what's going to attract the buyers.
And that's what's going to attract the buyers. And that brings up one of the most important things that you can do as a seller, which is to create curb appeal. I can't tell you how many times I've had a buyer in the car and I bring them to the house and they don't want to go in the door. Now I know that that house is a really good house. I know that that house hits a lot of their criteria. But they don't want to go in because there's no curb appeal. and I have to cajole them out of the car. And you don't want your house to be in those circumstances, because not every realtor will cajole them into the car, into the house. So you want to create a look. You want to create something that's inviting. You want to create something that says, come on in and see me. And whether it's with landscaping or repainting the house or fixing the shutters, putting up a new mailbox, putting up new outside lighting, whatever it is, whatever works, and your realtor will help you make those decisions. And a good realtor will tell you exactly what needs to be done to make your house the most inviting to a potential buyer. So you want to do that, and you want to start on the outside, and then you want to bring it inside.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Martin. If you have questions for Debbie Martin, you can contact her via email at deb, that is D-E-B, at capecodera.com, or by phone at 508-394-6588. And we look forward to you joining us again for another session of Cape Cod Real Estate Corner. Thank you.